Banda Guche Eheno Prabhu Avatari Kali Juge Nache Jaranama Loy Shuka Narada Beraya Sahasravadana Prabhu Jaraguna Sava Maha Prayaschita Jai Prabhurana Sava Maha Prayaschita Jai Prabhurana Se Prabhu Nachayde Ke Jata Bhagyavana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Chanda Jana Vrindavana Dasa Chupada Juge Gana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gaura Hari Jaya Gaura Hari Gaura Hari Jaya Gaura Hari Jaya Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol Govinda Govinda Hare Krishna. Anyway, a very beautiful kirtan by Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur, the author of Sri Caitanya Bhagavat, the sister book, as it were, to Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. And Śrīla Guru Maharaj pointed out that before Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, then it was Sri Caitanya Bhagavat, which was the principal scripture of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. They would read every day and get great joy from the Leela of Mahaprabhu. And then Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, when he wrote Caitanya-caritāmṛta, when he put it all into writing, and then he is constantly referring there and expecting the readers to go to hear about different Leelas which are described there. And he repeatedly says, I'm not repeating what he said, otherwise why repeat, and this book will just become bigger and bigger and bigger. And also, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, he was 90 plus years old and in fragile health, and he describes that himself. He cannot sit properly, he cannot see properly, he cannot write properly, he cannot hold the pen properly. But miraculously, somehow, Madana Mohan is making all of this happen. So, so this kirtan was from Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur, and I think yesterday all over the world devotees were singing from Śrīla Krishna Das Kaviraj, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan. Very happy from Śrīla Krishna Das Kaviraj, the author of Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. So we are coming to Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta and continuing the reading. The morning program here begins at 6, so the devotees have been here chanting and maybe dancing in the hearts for 1.5 hours. Now we are going to have the reading of Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, fairly short perhaps. Today, wow, look at that, a real garland made of real flowers and extremely fragrant. Just breathe in, no need to put it to my nose. From here, it is extremely fragrant. And it is the prasadam of Gauranga Sundar here. Hare Krishna, very opulent. And in Navadip, they put the prasadam garlands on the parampara pictures, on the guru pictures. And then there. And then the devotee who is reading, then somebody will go upstairs. Sometimes me, go upstairs onto the veranda in Navadip, and then go to the front and take down the prasade mala from the deities to the gurus, from the gurus to the readers. All right. So we're reading Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Ādi-līlā, and about the associates of Lord Nityananda. We'll continue from where we left off yesterday. And the last verse we read yesterday was Mahesh Pandit, the 7th of the 12 Gopals.
Do you need that light, Maharaj? Do you need this light? Or?
Yeah, well, if it's plugged in, it's better, no doubt.
No, just over there. Maharaj knows where the button is.
Yeah, but I think, wait, we need to connect it to the original source. We can have so many wires, but they have to be connected to the big dynamo somewhere. Just like Krishna consciousness. We need a connection. So, yes, better, thank you very much. Alright, so Jai Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai. And Jai Śrīla Krishna Das Kaviraj ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Gurudev, Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Guru Maharaj, Śrīla Bhakti Rakak Śrīla Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. And Jai Śrīla A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Is his appearance day today. He has given us Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. He's given us the Krishna books, Srimad Bhagavatam, countless talks, letters, etc., introducing, explaining, defending what is Krishna consciousness. And he's given us Guru Maharaj, Śrīla Guru Maharaj. He's given us Śrīla Guru Maharaj and Śrīla Gurudev and our parampara. So, dear devotees, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
So, continuing the reading of Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Ādi-līlā, chapter 11, we're starting on text 33. Nabadipe Purushottama Pandit Mahāshaya Nityananda Name Jara Mahonmadahaya. Oh, okay. Nityananda Name Jara Mahonmada. Oh, Maha-unmada becomes Mahonmada. Okay. Great ecstasy. Hoya became Hoya to become. Okay. Purushottam Pandit, a resident of Nabadip. Nabadip, Purushottama Pandit Mahāshaya. A resident of Nabadip was another Gopal. Acha. he would become almost mad as soon as he heard the holy name of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Name Jara Maha Unmada Hoya. Maha Unmada. Okay. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. 3 lines. It is stated in the Chaitanya Bhagavat that we just mentioned, that Purushottam Pandit was born in Navadip and was a great devotee of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. As one of the 12 Gopals, his former name was Stoka Krishna. Stoka Krishna. There we are. Next verse, we'll give you the translation first, and then you can fit the Bengali together very easily, and others can. You've been reading a lot also. Balaram Das always fully tasted the nectar of love of Krishna. Balaram Das always fully tasted the nectar of love of Krishna. So are you making it into Bengali? Upon hearing the name of Nityananda Prabhu, he would become greatly maddened. Well, we just had greatly maddened. I wonder if it's the same word. Not. This time greatly maddened is Parama Unmadi. Unmadi. Parama Unmadi. Greatly maddened. Okay, so in Bengali, you already translated in your mind, but into Sadhu Bhasa. Balarama Dasa, Krishna Prema Rasasvadi, Nityananda Name Hoya Parama Unmadi. Balarama Dasa, Krishna Prema Rasasvadi, Nityananda Name Hoya Parama Unmadi. Next verse, you can translate to English. Maha Bhagavat Jadunata Kavichandra Jahara Hridoye Nritya Kore Nityananda. Maha Bhagavata Jadunata Kavichandra. So that's the person's name. Maha Bhagavat, the great personality. Jadunath Kavichandra. Jahara Hridoye, his heart inside Hridoye. Nritya, danced. Kore, did Nityananda. Jadunath Kaviraj was a great devotee. Lord Nityananda Prabhu always danced in his heart. There, you got it right. Well done. And the purport, I'll read you the purport. In the Sri Caitanya Bhagavat Ādi-līlā, it is said that a gentleman known as Ratnagarbha Acharya was a friend of Sri Nityananda Prabhu's father. And what was the name of his father? Nityananda Prabhu's father? Harai Pandit. Harai Pandit. And his mother? Padmavati. And the first building in Bamanpara, not Bamanpara, Ekachakra, the appearance place village of Nityananda, the first building of our ashram was for the devotees. 1, 2, 3 stories for the devotees. And Srila Gurudev gave the name of that building, Shri Harai Pandit Padmavati Seva Kunj. Something like that. May not be exactly right, but it was Harai Pandit Padmavati. Then I think Seva Kunj was the name of the building. So, okay, purport. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, it is said that a gentleman known as Ratnagarbha Acharya was a friend of Sri Nityananda Prabhu's father, Harai Pandit. Okay. They were both residents of the same village known as Ekachakragram. Okay. He had 4 sons, Krishnapad, Makaranda, Krishnananda, Jiva, and Jadunath Kavichandra. That's the purport. Okay, next. begins with the word Rad, R-A, long R, long A, D with a dot under, H-E. Who is going to pronounce that word? Niet. For all the Russian speakers, it's Rare. That D is, they call it, not dental, before that, guttural, then up on the top of the mouth, palatal, they say in the Bengali books. It's Rara dash, even though it looks like Radha dash because of the tradition of how the transliteration is done. Rara dash. So it's Rare Jhara Janma Krishna Dasa Dvija Raja. No? Dvijavara. Krishna Dasa Dvijavara. Sri Nityanandera Teho Parama Kinkara. So, another devotee of Sri Nityananda in Bengal was Krishnadasa Brahmana, who was a first-class servant of the Lord. Kinkara is a nice word. It means servant. Kinkara. Somehow it has a very sweet sound. Sri Nityanandera Teho Parama Kinkara. Very topmost devotee. Kala Krishnadasa Boro Vaishnava Pradhana. And Vaishnava Pradhana. First class Vaishnava. So Pradhana. Again, topmost. Kala Krishnadasa Boro. What does Boro mean? What does Choto mean? Boro is big, Choto is small. Okay, anyway, it's not a Bengali lesson, but there are many words which come all the time. Choto Haridas. Literally, like young Haridas, but Choto. But when you if you go shopping in Bengal, you're going to want to know, you want a big size or a small size. Big size tilak or small size tilak. Boro tilak, amake din. But anyway, it's not a Bengali lesson, and I would be a very bad Bengali teacher. But still, some words they do come always. Boro. So, what happened? Oh, Boro, Vaishnava Pradhana. Nityananda Chandra Vinu Nahi Jane Ana. And this word Vinu or Vina comes up all the time. And the ending of the word changes, but it means only. No, except. Yes, except. And we get it in the kirtans also. Except for something, except for this. So, Nityananda Chandra Vinu Nahi Jane Ana. So the 22nd devotee of Lord, it doesn't say 22nd, we'll skip that part with all respect. Another devotee of Lord Nityananda was Kala Krishnadas, who was a cowherd boy. He was a first-class Vaishnava and did not know anything beyond Nityananda Prabhu, Nityananda Chandra, Vinu Nahi Jane Ara. Okay. So purport, because it's all about the devotees, and devotees have come. You've probably been here a long time, I don't know. I may not know, because I'm only focused on the book and the kirtan and don't know anything else. No, there may be another reason today. Okay, purport. In the Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, it is said that Krishnadas, who was known as Kaliya Krishnadas, was formerly a Gopala, cowherd boy, of the name Labanga. He was one of the 12 cowherd boys. Kaliya Krishnadas had his headquarters in a village named Akaihata, which is situated in the district of Burdwan, within the jurisdiction of the post office and police station of Katwa. It is situated on the road to Navadip. To reach Akaihata, one has to go from the Vyandela Junction station to the Katwa railway station and then go about 2 miles. Or one has to get off at the Danihata station and from there go 1 mile. Okay, we'll do that. The village of Akaihata is very small. In the month of Chaitra, on the day of Varuni, there is a festival commemorating the disappearance day of Kala Krishna Das. Wonderful purport. Srila Prabhupada from Śrīla Bhakti-siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. You could have an infinite pilgrimage and parikrama if you have 14 volumes of Caitanya-caritāmṛta under your arm and an ancient map, probably. Remember Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he resumed government service so that he could have access to the ancient records of Mayapur, Navadvip area, so he could with the help of that, to locate Mahaprabhu's appearance place, Nimai Sundar's appearance place. So, I haven't seen a good modern map of Navadvip, like a professional map. I've seen kind of funky maps, but not professional maps. But they must exist somewhere. If one were a government officer, could probably find them. Okay, next verse. Shri Sada Shiva Kaviraj Boro Mahashai. Shri Sada Shiva. So we're listing, where? Krishna's Kaviraj is listing so many devotees of Nityananda. Shri Sada Shiva Kaviraj Boro Mahasai. Shri Purushottama Das Tahara Tanai. And Tanai means his son. It is his son. So, another prominent devotee of Lord Nityananda who was Sada Shiva Kaviraj, and his son Purushottam Das, who was another Gopal, even though it doesn't say it here, but this is added into the translation because Srila Prabhupada knows, and he's reading also those purports as he's writing this. So, Srila Bhakti-siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhakti-vinod Thakur, maybe others too, or Vishwanath Chakravarti, other places too. Next verse. Since birth, Purushottam Das was merged in the service of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and he always engaged in childish play with Krishna. Okay, maybe I won't read you every purport, even though they're all wonderful. But again, you see, we mentioned about Chakda, so also somewhere near Chakda. Purushottam sometimes lived, just telling where they lived different times. Sometimes lived here, sometimes lived there, near the Chakda and Simurali railway stations. There's a nice place name here. So anyway, all the deities installed by Purushottam Thakur were formerly situated in Beladanga Gram. And Gram means village, so that's Beladanga Gram. But when the temple was destroyed, because these things happened, the deities were brought to Sukha Sagar. Sukha Sagar, happy ocean, Sukha Sagar. And when that temple merged into the bed of the Ganges, the deities were brought with Janavamata's deity to Sahebaranga Berigram. That's a long name for a village. Sahebaranga Berigrama. Since that place also has been destroyed, all the deities are now situated in the village named Chandure Grama, which is situated 1 mile up from Palapada, as referred to above. But you didn't hear what happened above. But anyway, if we say they're all just going to be kind of names, but it's all good. Okay, Tahara Putra. So his son, Mahashaya Sri Kanu Thakura, was Mahashaya Sri Kanu Thakur. Jara Dehe Rahe Krishna Prem Amrita Pura. So Sri Kanu Thakur, a very respectable gentleman, was the son of Purushottam Das Thakur. He was such a great devotee that Lord Krishna always lived in his body. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You know it. We have that Kirtan that says like the Our joy is to sing the names of the Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas' names are our great joy, brings us great joy. In fact, one of those kirtans, you can say which one, twice in a short kirtan is mentioning, in a slightly different way, the names of the Vaishnavas. They are our great happiness and joy. And here, really, because it should, then in the purport, there's explanation of the persons here and relatives, relations, places, and the place names also. Wonderful. But, if I just read it, maybe with an overdose of names of all sorts of personalities. Amazing, amazing. Next verse. Mahabhagavata Shreshta Datta Udharan. Udharan, Hare Krishna. Savabhave Seve Nityanandera Charana. So Udharan Datta Thakur, another of the 12 cowherd boys, you see, it doesn't say it here, but Srila Prabhupada is giving it, was an exalted devotee of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. He worshipped the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda in all respects. Sarva Bhave Seve Nityanandera Charana. In all kinds of bhava. Oh, long purport to this one. My goodness. So wonderful. This is why we should read Caitanya-caritāmṛta at home. If we read it here, really, everyone will be lost. Well, including me, but at least when you read it yourself, you can reread sentences and catch the relationship. And when we have a little idea of the physical geography of Navadip and the area, then we've got all these place names, places which are familiar to us. Saptagram, the river Saraswati. Hare Krishna. Vasudevapur, Vangsha, Beria, Krishnapura, Nityanandapura, Shivapura, Sankanagar, and Saptagram. All places. These are all place names. Calcutta was developed under British rule by the influential mercantile community, and that included Bhaktivinoda Thakur's family. They owned much of Calcutta, what is now Calcutta. And especially by the Suvarna Vanik community, who came down from Saptagram to establish their businesses and homes all over Calcutta. They were known as the Saptagrami mercantile community of Calcutta, and most of them belonged to the Mullik and Seal families. More than half of Calcutta belonged to this community, as did Sri Udharan Datta. Our paternal family also came from this district. Now, I think this is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Or is it Srila Prabhupada? Our paternal family also came from this district and belonged to the same community. The Mulliks of Calcutta are divided into two families, namely the Seal family and the Day family. All right, so it's Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada talking about himself. Okay, so to fill in the missing, because it's Srila Prabhupada's appearance day, and here he's talking about himself and his ancestors, and it's his appearance day. So I'll go to the beginning, the bit we skipped at the very beginning, because it was a bit long and I wasn't expecting to read so much. But let's read this. It's 2 pages almost of writing, but let's go through it. It's Srila Prabhupada's appearance day. And so here he is, and revealing something of his own family. So Srila Prabhupada purport, Jai. In Gaura Ganadesh Deepika, verse 129, states that Udharan Datta Thakur was formerly the cowherd boy of Vrindavan named Subahu. Udarandatta Thakur, previously known as Sri Udharandatta, was a resident of Saptagram, which is situated on the bank of the Saraswati river near Trishabigha railway station in the district of Hooghly. At the time of Udaran Thakur, Saptagram was a very big town, encompassing many other smaller places, such as those places I just told you. This earlier, Vasudevpura, Bangsha, Beria, etc. Calcutta was developed under the British rule. Okay, so then these mercantile persons came to Calcutta from that area which we just described, and the Muliks, so our paternal family also came from the district and belonged to the same community. The Muliks of Calcutta are divided into two families, namely the Sil family and Dey family. And Srila Prabhupada's original name was Abhay Charan Dey. Chandan? Abhay Charan Dey? I think. Maybe we'll find out in a moment, but I think that was... And then he kept A.C. Bhakti Vedanta, and Abhay Charan Bhakti Vedanta. And following the example of Bhakti Saranga Goswami, who kept A.B., is it? Bhakti Saranga Goswami Maharaj, he kept his former initials, but I don't remember that. But I remember Gurudev saying that following that example, then Srila Prabhupada kept the A.C., Srila Abhay Charan Bhakti Vedanta Swami, and his name is Swami, like Govinda Maharaj, Sridhar Maharaj, his name is Swami Maharaj. Title is Bhakti Vedanta, given by Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj gave the title Bhakti Vedanta to him. So the Muliks, divided in two families, and all the Muliks of the Dey family originally belonged to the same family and Gotra. We also formerly belonged to the branch of the Dey family, whose members, intimately connected with the Mohammedan rulers, received the title Mulik. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat Antyakanda, it is said that Udharandatta was an extremely elevated and liberal Vaishnava. He was born with the right to worship Nityananda Prabhu. It is also stated that Nityananda Prabhu, after staying for some time in Karadaha, came to Saptagram, which is when we were hearing about, and stayed in the house of Udarandatta. The Suvana Vanik community in which Udarandatta belonged was actually a Vaishnava community. Its members were bankers and gold merchants. Suvana means gold and Vanik means merchant. And I'm not sure what Srila Prabhupada was going to say, but he was from that Suvana Malik, as far as I remember, section. We've heard Gurudev talk about gold merchant. Long ago, there was a misunderstanding between Bala Sain and the Suvana Vanik community because of the great banker Gauri Sain. Bala Sain was taking loans from Gauri Sain and spending money extravagantly, and therefore Gauri Sain stopped supplying money. Bala Sain took revenge by instigating a social conspiracy to make the Suvana Vaniks outcasts, and since then they have been ostracized from the higher castes, namely the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas and Vaishyavas. But by the grace of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, the Suvana Vanik community was again elevated. It is stated in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Jatika Vanik Kula Udharana Hoite Pavitra Hoile Dvidha Nahika Ihate. That there is no doubt that all the community members of the Suvana Vanik society were again purified by Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Anyway, there's me saying I'm not going to read a lot of things, but we're already here. In Saptagram, there is still a temple with a 6-armed deity of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, called 6-armed deity? Sadabhuj. Sadabhuj. A 6-armed deity of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu that was personally worshipped by Sri Udarandatta Thakur. On the right side of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is a deity of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So remember, this way, the right side of the deity. And on the left side is Gadadhar Pandit. There are also a Radha Govinda Murti and Shalagram Shila. And below the throne is a picture of Sri Udarandatta Thakur. So this is also explaining. Sometimes we go to temples and we really don't know who's there, and even we ask the locals, and then everyone says something different. So, they're happy to worship a deity. The Lord. Bhagavan. They're also rather, yes. In front of the temple there is now a big hall, and in front of the hall is a Madhavi. Oh, a Madhavi Lata plant. We are singing in the Gurudev's artis about Madhavi, Malati and Madhavi plants. The temple is in a very shady, cool and nicely situated location. Oh, this is Śrīla Prabhupada, see? And by the way, for English, anyway, you're all good in English, but this, when we returned from America in 1967, it's one way of saying when I returned, but instead of I. And it is polite English. Oh, when we returned from America in 1967, the executive committee members of this temple invited us to visit it. And thus we had the opportunity to visit this temple with some American students. Formerly, in our childhood, we visited this temple with our parents, because all the members of the Suvarna Vanik community enthusiastically take interest in this temple of Udarandatta Thakur. In the Bengali year 1283, one can calculate that one Babaji of the name Nitai Das arranged for a donation of 12 bighas of land for this temple. The management of the temple later deteriorated. But then in 1306, through the cooperation of the famous Balaram Mullik of Hooghly, who was a sub-judge, and many rich Suvarna Vanik community members, the management of the temple improved greatly. Not more than 50 years ago, so this is 1970-something, Śrīla Prabhupada is saying, not more than 50 years ago, one of the family members of Udarandatta Thakur, named Jagamohan Datta, established a wooden deity of Udarandatta Thakur in the temple. But that deity is no longer there. At present, a picture of Udarandatta Thakur is worshipped. It is understood, however, that the wooden deity of Udaran Thakur was taken away by Sri Madana Mohan Datta and is now being worshipped with a Shalagram Shila by Sri Nath Datta. Amazing. Just a little bit more. Udarandatta Thakur was the manager of the estate of the big Zamindar. Zamindar means landowner, landlord. In Naihati, about 1.5 miles north of Katwa. The relics of his royal family are still visible near the Dainhata station. Since Udharandatta Thakur was the manager of the estate, it was also known as Udharanpura. Udharandatta Thakur installed Nitai Gaura deities that were later brought to the house of the Zamindar, which was known as Vanayoyari Bara. Sri Udharandatta Thakur remained a householder throughout his life. His father's name was Sri Karadatta, his mother's name was Bhadravati, and his son's name was Srinivas Datta. And Srila Prabhupada did not have Google. I mean, he didn't. And how that one purport would take us like months to research and go to find it. All those things. So at least we have heard the name of Udaran Datta many times. And he was a Mahabhagavat. Mahabhagavat. Mahabhagavat Sheshta Datta Udharan Sava Bhavi Seve Nityanandera Chara. In all kinds of bhava, all kind of mood, what is needed, all-rounder, as Gurudev would say, using the cricket term. We went past Twickenham cricket ground in the car, maybe not yesterday, but a couple of days ago. I saw Twickenham, and I thought, oh, look at that. India famous, if not world famous, maybe not America famous, because they play another form of cricket called baseball. It's just not cricket. But they love it. Okay, verse 42. The 27th, another prominent devotee of Sri Nityananda Prabhu was Acharya Vaishnavananda, a great personality in devotional service. He was formerly known as Raghunath Puri. Okay. I'll refrain. Another important devotee of Lord Nityananda was Vishnudas, who had two brothers, Nandana and Gangadas. Lord Nityananda Prabhu sometimes stayed at their house. Paramananda Upajaya was Nityananda Prabhu's great servitor. Sri Jiva Pandit glorified the qualities of Sri Nityananda. So this is Jiva Pandit, it's not Jiva Goswami who came over to Vrindavan. And how I know? Because the purport says so. Paramananda Gupta, so another person by the name of Paramagupta, Krishna Bhakta Mahamati, advanced in spiritual consciousness. Purve Jhara Ghore Nityanandera Basati. So, another of Lord Nityananda's associates was Paramananda Gupta, greatly devoted to Lord Krishna and highly advanced in spiritual consciousness. Formerly, Nityananda Prabhu also resided in his house for some time. More prominent devotees were Narayan, Krishnadas, Manohara and Devananda, who always engaged in the service of Lord Nityananda. More devotees. Let's see if oh my goodness, what happened to the clock? We won't race through to finish the chapter. We are rather late. I had no idea it was after 8. So we'd better stop here. But we've got more names of devotees to come tomorrow, and we will come to the end of the chapter tomorrow. But let's not race through just so we finish the chapter. We'll go through slowly. We'll go through as we are going through, naturally. So not slowly, not fast. But today is Srila Prabhupada's appearance day. And we always read the books of Srila Prabhupada. 2 or 3 days ago, the Indian family were here. And they say, and Srila Prabhupada, do you know Srila Prabhupada? I say, yes, no, because they're coming from ISKCON. And we are all coming, we are ISKCON. What is the International Society for Krishna Consciousness? And the purity of that was Srila Prabhupada bringing the devotees to Guru Maharaj. We must say it, it is the fact. And we are fully happy. Of course we're fully happy, but it is the fact. And it's not isms or trying to, do anything except say the truth. Why we came to Guru Maharaj? We came to Guru Maharaj for the truth. Srila Prabhupada brought us to Guru Maharaj, indicated to Guru Maharaj to come for the truth. And if there are any, we're often asked why this difference from ISKCON, because we have an ISKCON background. And really the answer is, why ISKCON don't follow the standard Guru Maharaj gave, because that's what Srila Prabhupada wanted. He sent them to Guru Maharaj to learn the standard. And by the way, Jai Pataka, I know now he's somewhat disabled, but he knows everything, and he's very sweet. He has a very big body, and no doubt he's a big guru, but I know him one-on-one with Gurudev and just being there happily, and he's such a sweet man, and devotee, and I don't know anything about today, but we know him from the 80s, the 90s and the 2000s in association with Gurudev principally. He met Guru Maharaj, he came to Guru Maharaj, but I wasn't at the time, that time. And he can say so many things, he knows, but he's like bound by the ISKCON things too, so has to keep a little quiet. But in like private, in like sweet circle, he's very acknowledging fully. And Srila Gurudev very happy with him too, his nature like that. And Gurudev appreciates his Bengali, by the way, his spoken Bengali. Oh, very sweet. He's an American man, learned Bengali. Two people, another one was a Spanish devotee from Spain. Spain devotee, many countries speak Spanish, but he was from Spain. And he did not speak a word of English. Really didn't speak a word of English. And he stayed in the mat, and then he had to leave the mat, by Gurudev's affectionate guidance, because devotees sometimes have bad habits which can't be maintained in the mat. For a little time, tolerated with the expectation that you're going to leave the habit. So he had to leave the mat, and but somebody was looking for him, and so he couldn't go back to his own country, and so he took shelter. He took shelter in a local person's house, a couple of kilometers away, and he took shelter in their house. But he didn't know any English at all. And then after quite a short time, maybe 3 months or something like that, then maybe a bit longer, maybe 4, possibly 5, but not very long. It was quite a short time. Then he came to the gate, and he had to leave from the mat. So he was sweet and respectful and everything. And he, again, one of the devotees who knows they have to leave the mat, because you need somewhere must be clean and pure. And anyway, a devotee said, "Oh, this devotee, he's calling for you." And okay, where is he? He said he's outside the gate. So he wouldn't come inside the gate. And he said, "Mahananda, this. And he explained to me in Bengali, his situation, that he's going to move from Navadip up to Assam or somewhere around there. That India is like a triangle, but on the top right, the northeast, there's that narrow stretch of land. Siliguri is there. It's a narrow stretch of India, and then it opens out again. And he was going to go up there. He's going to move from Navadip, and he got some arrangement. And but he said, I before leaving from Navadip, one time I want to come to Gurudev's holy feet, and so I went to Gurudev. Gurudev was there, and and I went to Gurudev and said, "Maharaj, outside the gate is this devotee. He's being very humble. His nature is not, he's being very humble. Everything. Can he come and meet you?" And Guru said, "Yes, he can come." And I went with him to Gurudev, and he was like the epitome of a humble, begging mercy, sweet Vaishnava, so sweet. And he spoke Bengali. Like he was speaking really nice Bengali. And Gurudev, when he went down, and Gurudev, of course, Gurudev's melted by devotion and humility, tolerance, giving honor to others, respect for the holy name, respect for the Vaishnavas. So Gurudev melted by his nature. And Gurudev never felt bad about him, but he just can't stay. You can't, anyway, we already said that. There's some limit. And anyway, then when he went downstairs, Gurudev said, "Such sweet Bengali, you heard his Bengali, how he learned that." From no English, it's not, and the local people, everybody knows some English. Just sit on the local train in Bengal. Go office train leaves Navadip at 6:09, and it will get there at 9 o'clock in the morning. It is almost the only punctual train. And Gurudev said, and it must get there at that time. Otherwise, in Bengal, they will go and lynch the driver. Yes, that's what Gurudev said, this kind of mass mentality. So the driver, he's got to get that train on time. And there's never a ticket collector. I don't think I've ever seen a ticket collector on that train. It's the office train. Anyway, why did I mention you?
Without knowing English, that Prabhu, without knowing a word of English.
Yeah, but what about the office train?
While many Indians know English.
Oh, right, giving the example. On that office train, there are so many people, you hear English words all the time. There are so many English words that are within the Bengali, like vocabulary, but it's not Bengali, but they're using them. But not Spanish words.
Yeah, this is very surprising. How did he do that?
Well, because he was with the family. And like in Italy, we have the two children, the two young children, they're now, I think, 7 and 9, the two children. But when they came, they were less than 7 and 9, because that's what happens. They were like 5 and 7. But then they only know Russian or Ukrainian. No, Russian actually, really, if we're honest. They know Russian. They're from Ukraine, they're refugees, with the mum, of course. And they were put into the school by the Italian government, and they are speaking Bengali, speaking Italian, like very quickly. And they're teaching their mum Italian. A 7-year-old boy teaching his mum Italian. So, when you're young, you do actually learn a lot of things between 0 and 4, without having a book to read. I mean, it's all going by hearing between 0 and 4. If only we were still so smart. But you see, that's what they're searching for when they're trying to stick a USB port in your neck and stuff like that. They're trying to keep us smart. Okay, well, again, so tomorrow, then we'll read from this first. Oh, but we almost finished the chapter. Okay, we'll have a short reading from Caitanya-caritāmṛta, but we're getting a little hungry for continuing in the light of loving devotion. And put together by Śrīpad Bhakti Swarup Tridandi Maharaj, who's here yesterday on the Sankirtan, London Sannyasi. And we've known him for donkey's years too, and always good sannyasi, sincere, and you can see he put together also home comfort and golden staircase. Yes, golden staircase. Heart and halo, and in the light of loving devotion. And as we said in the class, was it yesterday? How his classes, some of them are quite memorable. That when I said about the air and the magic and everything, and how miraculously, air is everywhere, but we just take it for granted and all sorts of things. But air is a miracle, and so many things. That's from a class in 1985, or no, maybe 1986, much more recent, 365 days. It's from a class in 1986, and he's giving the class, and somehow some of the things he says just come out very with clarity. But Krishna, Keshavananda was remembering his class when he's saying about if I can just be successful in one item, not to have any tendency to criticize others, then I'll think my life is successful. And we have to look at ourselves. We have to look at ourselves carefully and think all these things. And that's our first qualification at the front of the Srimad Bhagavatam, is that nirmatsaram. We're not going to judge anybody. We're not going to have any thought about others. We need to leave it behind. And those first 8 verses of Upadeshamritam are for our instruction. All are for our instruction, but our practical instruction. And when we get that right, the last 3 verses, we can start to think, wow, look, what's there? And there, telling about the anybody chanting the name of the Lord, then who is initiated, and then who is constantly chanting the name of the Lord without any tendency to criticize others. There we'll follow, put our head. And here is that perfectness of that nature. Hare Krishna. So nirmatsaranam. So, it is late. It's going to be almost 8 if we turn the clock back 20 minutes. So we'll have a short Hari Harai Nama Krishna, and we'll continue today's Srila Prabhupada's appearance day. I don't know what's being broadcast online or even where this is online, but I heard that 11 o'clock today we're regrouping here again for Nanda Mahārāja's Maha Utsav. So anyway, his big festival, Nanda Maharaj, the father of Krishna, Nanda and Yashoda. So we'll hear more about this later on. But his festival for the appearance of Lord Krishna, who appeared at midnight last night, you might have noticed. And so Nandotsav and Srila Prabhupada's appearance. Srila Prabhupada appeared this day. We'll maybe find out the right year. Do you know the year off by heart? A long time ago.
1896,
I can't hear you.
1896, I think.
1896. All right. Maybe we'll confirm that. Jagannath Prabhu thinks it is that. So it sounds about right, but we'll double check it. I'll ask the code for the door to come in, because sometimes it's the appearance day of great Vaishnava. But it's not at the moment. So if you're trying to find the code, you can try all those, you can memorize all those dates, you're still not going to get in. Okay. Mini Hari, first 4 verses of Hari Harai, and I think Pandita, she's all ready, she's got the Mridanga, and she doesn't need the book, I'm sure, but out of humility, she's opening the book.
Hari Harai Nama Krishna Yadavaya
Hari Harai Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusūdan Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan Nityananda Shri Caitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Rupa Sanatan Bhata Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhata Dasa Raghunath Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Nitai Gora, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora, Hari Bol. Hari, Nitai Gora. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. By the way, this edition of the book is 1973.
Wow.
1973. published, printed in 1973. Jai Shri Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai, most worshipable Shri Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai, Jai Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai, and Jai Śrī A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who's given us Shri Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai, Jai Om Vishnupad Śrīla Gurudev Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Mahāraja ki Jai, Jai Om Vishnupad Śrīla Guru Maharaj Śrīla Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Dev Goswami Mahāraja ki Jai, Jai Om Vishnupad Bhagavan Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai, Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga ki Jai, and Jai Saprika Shishi Guru Gauranga Sunda Giriraj Shri Radha Giridhari Ju ki Jai, Jai the beautiful altar of Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Math, West London ki Jai, and the beautiful altar, we have to say, we were at midnight for the Arati in East London, and the beautiful altar of Shri Guru Gauranga Radha Shyama Sunda and Giriraj Ju ki Jai in East London. And Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Math, London chapter, includes many pages. Ki Jai. And Jai Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Brinda ki Jai, Srimati Tulsi Devi ki Jai, all the assembled Vaishnavas ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Brinda ki Jai. And don't forget to break fast with some grains sometime now. I don't know the timing, but before 10 something I think I saw. But if you haven't broken fast, if you have Jagannath Prasad, try to break fast with Jagannath Prasad or with Mahaprasad.
Between 6:07 and 10:42.
So 6:07 past, but before 10:42 is the London calculation. So please meet with us later. I think we're online. If not, be sure and come to the temple here. Then you'll certainly be able to meet us later at Hatton Cross in West London. Just find your way to the Heathrow Airport Terminal 4 and walk across the hill, walk across the field by the canal and ask somebody. You'll find us. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bo.
Jai Śrīla Bhakti Ranjan Madhusūdan Mahārāja ki